Hey guys, Stealth here. Thank you for joining me in yet another war room. This week we're going to be talking about From the Depths, World of Warships, a little bit of Wargame, although unfortunately I don't have too much information on that, and a bit about my business, which I learned an interesting lesson last week. Now, to start off with World of Warships that we're looking at right now. This is Koenigsberg, by the way. Actually, before we continue, let me turn the audio down a bit. There. World of Warships, as you may know, the Prince Eugen is coming out soon. And the Prince Eugen is supposed to be another Tier 8 class premium cruiser for the Germans. They have been getting quite a few premiums lately, and I personally am really waiting for the British premiums to come out, but that's probably somewhere down the line this month. But the Prince Eugen, it's one of those famous ships from history. It's one of those ships that, if you know the part, was involved with the Bismarck. It didn't quite turn out the same way as Bismarck, in the sense that the Prince Eugen actually survived the war. But the Prince Eugen in World of Warships, from what I've been reading and seeing about it, it is just another Admiral Hipper. It is really nothing special. So it's a bit unusual for Wargame to release a ship, especially a premium ship, that doesn't really have anything going for it. So I'm really interested to see exactly what their plan is with it. And with all the YouTubers posting videos on it, I'm expecting it to go on sale soon. I mean, usually you have these NDAs getting lifted or the non-disclosure agreements getting lifted, and then a couple days later you're going to see the ship appear in the shop. So far I haven't seen it, but I think it might be coming soon. For now, in case you want to pick up a premium ship, I believe the Mikhail Kutuzov is on sale this week. Anyway, more World of Warships. The mission for the Campbelltown is currently up. It is up for my server, which is the EU server. I'm not sure if the NA and the Asia server get the same thing. But what you have to do for this mission is grind out, I believe, 50,000 base XP, and then get another 2 million damage done. The reward that you're going to get for getting all of that work done is getting a premium ship, which is HMS Campbelltown, and you get a 12-point captain. Now, especially the 12-point captain is really, really nice. I already have the Campbelltown. I already completed the mission. I gotta say, the Campbelltown, from what I've been seeing with it and playing with it, it really isn't that special. So if you do have the mission, then don't particularly go for the ship, but go for the captain, because getting a 12-point captain for free saves you so much time. It is a lot of XP that you don't have to grind out. And sure, you can argue that you can get the Campbelltown for a lot cheaper than the time investment, but hey, you're playing World of Warships anyway, so you might as well try and go for the mission as you're doing it. Finally, the mission for Campbelltown is going to last to the start of October, and I thought that that might signify when they're expecting the British cruisers to come out. The British cruisers are, at least to some extent, already in-game. There have been some in-game, I'm not going to say spottings, but some YouTubers already have the in-game models rendered. Which is nice, of course, because it means that they are coming, and they are actually closer than we think. And my theory, considering that the mission lasts through the start of October, I think that we're going to be seeing those cruisers pretty soon after. Let's say somewhere near the start of October, maybe a little later. But not by much, I don't think. So it's going to be really, really nice to see the British finally arriving in World of Warships. And yes, I know, they've had the Warspite, they've had the Campbelltown for quite a while. But come on, they don't really have anything serious. No real serious navy in this game, not yet. That's about to change. And in case you want to read up a bit more about the British cruisers in general, I found a book on Scribd, or at least multiple books, which have to do or which are about the British cruisers, especially the British light cruisers. So if you want to read up on that, Scribd, the link is in the description down below, so you can have a look at that. Scribd is a service that's only going to cost you $9 a month, and you can read pretty much an unlimited amount of books, including some of those, let's say, more obscure things, such as cruiser tutorials or cruiser guides. Other World of Warships news, not so much. Myself, I've been getting my Lexington back. I sold the Lexington a couple of months ago, and I found that I did miss her. She's a great ship, but bloody hell is she expensive. For 10 million credits, and that's not even including with all the kitting out, it is quite the investment. And of course I hope to be making that thing back. But finally I can do carriers again. And I might get the Saipan soon. And if I do, I'll definitely be doing a review on that. Aside from that, I've been enjoying Koenigsberg. Fantastic little ship. Some people love it, some people hate it. I'm in the love category. As if you get decent matchmaking, you can really dominate a match. And I got a great video showing you that coming up on Wednesday. And aside from that, I don't really touch the battleship lines. The German battleships, while they look fantastic, they are just not my cup of tea. If I try and play those things, I more often than not get so frustrated with their speed and their low rate of fire that it's just not for me. It's just not the right ship type for me to play. It's okay. That's something that once you realize it, you can work around it and actually maintain a decent win rate while you're playing them. Moving on, Wargame. As you may have been seeing, the Israeli deck pack is getting teased. I contacted Wargame, I think last week, or Eugen I should say. Contacted them to say if I could do anything to help boost their promotion, if I could fish for some more information. But they were very tight-lipped about it. They said, nope, we're just teasing, and we have no further info. So that was useful. I have no idea when these ships are, sorry, when those units are going to get released. No idea. So we'll just have to wait and see what Eugen has in mind and when we can expect these things to actually hit the server. I do think it is before the end of the year. I think that would make sense. But any time on throughput? Not really known. What we do know from screenshots is the number of units that are likely to be added to the game, which I believe is about 80 to 90. Although, of course, take that with a grain of salt, as 1 unit of infantry in 5 different transports does count as 5 different units. That gives you a slightly distorted picture. So, about 90 units to be added, at least that's what I gleaned from the screenshots, but it doesn't really say everything, it doesn't really give you the whole picture. So keep that in mind. Moving on, from the depths. I've been doing the submarine tutorial series last week, and I gotta say, I was very happy with how well you guys received that, how well you guys liked that. I have been trying for a long time to get a submarine adventure mode series going. It's just not working. One moment I think, oh look, I'm building a submarine, is working, I dive, and then the submarine goes all up and down, I leave the resource zone, and once I surface again, I don't really want to be on the surface anymore because there are enemy combatants, such as those godly designs which currently spawn in on adventure mode and utterly wreck my submarine. And I don't know, I've probably recorded 6 to 8 videos of adventure mode. None of them were published because every single time I got blown out of the water, literally blown out of the water, by some of those godlike designs. So today I'm releasing a video of adventure mode which is a slightly different setup. It is going to be submarine, eventually, and that's all I'll tell you about that. Now, as I mentioned, I learned a very interesting lesson last week about my body language business. And I'm not sure if you're familiar with the phrase, always let the other party negotiate first. But bloody hell, that is critical. What happened is that I got a call from a convention for lawyers, and they asked me if I could do a presentation, do a speaking session on their event. I said, sure. How long? How many people? They said, well, it's about 80 to 120 people. We don't have the exact tally yet. I said, okay, sure. And they wanted to know what my rate is going to be. And I said, well, how much I can do really depends on the budget that's available. So always let the other one state their number first. Their number was 4 times as high as what I had in mind. So I said, the guy asked, "This is my number. Can you work with that?" And I went, like, "Yeah, sure." Of course, I had to actually bite down some enjoyment, excitement, and laughter because that was a lot of money that was being offered. And hopefully, I can actually make some more clients out of that. Now, I've been having quite a bit of back and forth, really, about my business in the sense that people are always telling you that you should do what excites you. You should do what you enjoy most. Or build your business around something that you would do on a Saturday afternoon. Which I think is a fair statement, because if you don't really enjoy what you're doing, then you're not likely to be able to spend the required amount of time on it. You're not likely to really enjoy it. You're not likely to show that you're enjoying it. And all of this leads to no real success in your business, which is, of course, not the plan. So, I'm always at a bit of a, let's say, a halfway point. On the one end, I'm thinking, yeah, the body language business, I really, really love talking about it. I really love educating people about it. The other hand, I'm thinking, yeah, but there is so much around it in the sense that you have to try and search for clients, you have to do the business administration stuff, you have to keep all of the social media posts going. It is a lot of work. And while I particularly enjoy the actual speaking engagements, I don't particularly enjoy all of the mess around it, lacking another term. I don't really particularly enjoy all of that. And what I do love to do, especially on a Saturday afternoon, is record videos for you guys. But then again, recording videos is, while it is nice, it doesn't really provide me with a full-time income or anywhere near that. So there's this friction between wanting to be able to do full-time YouTubing, but it is just not possible. It is going to take me a channel that's about at least 10 times as the size I have now. So let's say 50,000 to 80,000 subscribers before I actually get to the required amount of income. And let's face it, that's going to take a while. That is going to take a while before I get there. So for now, I'm going to have to do both the YouTubing and the body language business. But when people will say during business courses, yeah, you should do what excites you, you should do what keeps you up on a Saturday afternoon or what excites you, then there's always this point of, yeah, well, do I really enjoy this? Well, yeah, I enjoy giving the presentations, but do I enjoy all the humdrum stuff around it? No, not particularly. So that is something that I am trying to work out, trying to figure out what my ideal audience would be. And it looks like I just kind of lost this mission. Yeah, defeat. I do any well? Yeah, third. Not too bad. Anyway, that brings me on to the point of always ask why you're doing something. And while this is a very, very good exercise in trying to focus your thoughts, trying to focus why you're doing stuff, there's also such a thing called ignorance is bliss. Because if you don't ask why you're doing something, then you can basically continue to do so without really having your conscience or your questioning mind wonder why you're doing something. So let me explain that. Sometimes you have someone saying, yeah, you should start a business and you should grow it and you should sell it. And with every point I go, okay, why? Why would I want that? There's this famous story about a fisherman who's sitting on the beach, and an investment banker who's on vacation there, he comes up to him and he says, oh, look, dude, I really, really love the life that you have over here, but why don't you go commercial? Because this fisherman is only fishing for small amounts of fish. And the man says, well, look, I have enough fish to feed myself, my family. I don't need that much more. So why would I get much more? And the banker goes, well, look, if you get more, you can build a business. You can possibly hire some personnel to help you do the job. You can then expand and buy a second ship. And the guy goes, yeah, but okay, then I have a second ship, and then what? Well, then you can continue building your fleet. You can continue building your business. You can make sure that you have more ships, get more fish, and you are going to get really, really rich. The guy says, okay, sounds good, but then what? He says, well, then you get rich, you get richer, you get even richer, and then you can start to retire and spend more time with your family, having fish together, having a party, whatever. And the guy goes, yeah, but I already have that. I already have this, let's say, this peaceful time with my family. I have food on the table. I provide for my family. I have a great time. I get to spend a lot of time with my family. So why would I go through all of these steps just in order to build something that I already have? And that is basically what the whole why question is about. Because, for example, I considered setting up a business with employees. And I go, okay, why? Well, that way I'm no longer the pivot of my business. Why? Well, that way I can do whatever I want whenever I want to do it. Okay, why? Well, I currently cannot really do that. Well, can't you? Because at the moment I can basically do whatever the hell I want. And actually, that feeling of being able to do whatever the hell I want might even deteriorate once I have personnel to worry about. So there's this whole why incident going on. And then there's the, let's say, the body language stuff. I mean, I want to build a business around it. Why? Well, so I can get an income. Okay, why? What do I want to do with that income? What do I want to really get, buy, acquire, whatever? And then there's not too clear-cut an answer. Same with, let's say, buying a house. Some people just consider that to be the next part of life. It's the next evolution. You go to high school, you go to college, you start getting a job, you move out, possibly not in that order. Although the high school and then the college order would be would be kind of likely in that fashion. And then you get a house. Why would you buy a house? Is buying a house per se the best option? Is that really the thing that is going to get you to what you want to achieve? Or would it be more likely to have, for example, a smaller apartment or something that you're hiring from something that you're subletting? And then you go, why? And all of this asking why is stuff that can really mess with your mind. Because you suddenly find out that there are no clear-cut answers. Everybody is just messing around. And this may sound like some sort of tile wisdom or something that you read on a calendar, but nobody has the answers. And the more I go through life, the more I realize that nobody has the answers. We're all making shit up as we go along. And most of the time it seems that people are just too scared to actually admit that. Because the moment that you the moment that you admit you don't really know what's going on, you suddenly find out that, well, maybe your life isn't as perfect as you thought, or maybe you're not doing the things that you really thought you should be doing. Maybe you're just going along with the daily grind for the heck of it, while you don't really enjoy that. And that's what I mean. Nobody has the answers. There's no real clear-cut solution of do this, get that, as much as people would like you to believe that. And sure, for some elements it works. Do this, for example, save X amount of dollars a week, and you get X amount of dollars after set period. Well, theoretically, yes. But have you seen the interest rates lately? I don't know about your situation in your country, but in the Netherlands we have banks starting to charge negative interest. I say again, negative interest. That means that you have to pay interest on a mortgage or on a savings account. Which doesn't really make sense, does it? It's a savings account. It's there for the bank to use your money to make them more money. And we have to pay interest on it. So maybe that initial plan of saving money doesn't really work out. Or at least not anymore. So once again, nobody has the answers. Nobody has a clear-cut plan. And let me know in the comments what your thoughts are on that. Do you have a clear-cut plan, or do you just motor along and hope for the best? Because I've tried both, and I haven't really figured out which works, if any. So maybe there are some more wizened or experienced people out there who do know what that's like or what that's about. Because I, for one, have no clue. And I think that that's the case for multiple people. Maybe you yourself have the same thing. That you really have no clue what you're doing, what you're supposed to be doing, where you're going, what you want to be doing, how you're going to get there. And well, we're just coasting along, seeing what comes up. And then again, there's the saying that you better make a plan for yourself, or you're going to fall into someone else's plan. By which they mean that you're going to be doing somebody else's bidding, for example, as an employee. And as Jim Rohn, the person who came up with that statement, said, guess what they have planned for you? Not much. And that's not in the sense that employers don't care, but you, as an employee, are just a means to their end. You are just someone who can solve the issue that they have at that specific moment. And that's okay. But don't expect those people to start making you rich. It's not the way it works. Anyway, as I'm jabbering on and on, it's already coming up to 22 minutes. So let's cut the jabber and move on to what's happening on the channel this week. As mentioned, first video coming up will be an adventure mode. Hopefully actually an adventure mode series this time around, although don't hold your breath. You never know when you're going to get killed in adventure mode. Sometimes I record a video in adventure mode and I end the recording and then 2 minutes later I'm dead. No exaggeration there. 2 minutes later I'm dead. And that's something that can happen in adventure mode. So I'm not sure how long that series is going to run for, but let's hope it's going to stay with us for at least a while. More Wargame is also coming up. Tactical Tuesday is still there in full effect, and I might actually be doing a few more videos along the lines of the economy mode video that I posted yesterday, which is titled the Mighty Su-27M, in case you haven't seen that yet. Economy mode is another interesting mode in Wargame that is really barely played. And in case you're not familiar with it, the way that it works is that you have a fixed amount of points, and like Destruction and Conquest, you have income. However, if you start spending your points, then your team loses points. And this will cause you to make the consideration of, okay, do I want to buy new units? Or am I going to, let's say in Tactical Conquest, going to try and hold what I have? Or Destruction, am I going to really try and hang on to what I have? And there's quite an interesting area of conflict there. So more videos on that coming up as well. Then Wargame Ranked, that'll be Friday. Warships Wednesday. And every now and then there will be From the Depths. I'm just not entirely sure what and when. I haven't recorded all the videos yet. And I'm considering doing an FTD stream, or From the Depths stream, which might involve adventure mode, so that I'm going to be building something in adventure mode live, and you get to see me get killed over and over and over again, or you get to watch me build something that actually works, which would be nice. So that's what's going to be happening on the channel this week. Hopefully I gave you some more food for thought, in the sense that you now are going to start considering or start asking yourself, why am I actually doing something? And once you do, make sure that you keep digging. Don't stop at the first why, but keep digging into the why below the why. And with that, that's the end of this war room. thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed. Good luck this week. Make it a good one. And if you have any questions for me personally, for my business, for whatever, leave those in the comments down below. Have a good one. See you soon for more videos.